Pop some corn. It is time for a big summer movie experience.
It's only January, though.
I know, but
Victor, this just in.
Dead Space 2.
Necromorphs have invaded the studio, and so we have to shoot this review outdoors.
This movie/game, didn't it feel like a movie? Playing this thing? I mean, didn't it feel like...
the first one was very cinematic.
Yes,
you know the genre always been very cinematic, always very dependent on camera angles and lighting and mood, and that was definitely a big part of the first game, definitely a big part of the second game. Victor, let's talk a little bit about the story here. Isaac Clarke, in Total Ripley's from James Cameron's Aliens, has to relive the nightmare that he already lived through.
Well, he's in a coma for a bunch of years.
And he's in an insane asylum for a while.
Asylum, and they're trying to tap into him to kind of access what he knows about the marker. They're trying to recreate stuff.
What did you find aboard that ship, Isaac?
He's taken advantage of, and he has to kind of fight the man and fight the necromorphs.
Well, they do experiments on him.
But it felt so damn cinematic. I felt like I was on some kind of summer movie ride. I was just being taken and transported. It's a game that I felt almost plays itself. It's effortless to just jump in and be lost for hours. You feel compelled to keep going. What's coming up?
You do.
What am I going to see?
That's
What's
true.
Next?
That's true. You always feel the carrot before the horse, so to speak.
Yes.
That's what I appreciated the most about the first game. What I loved was the soundtrack, and I loved the mood, and I loved the sense of place that the first one had. I feel like some of it's missing in the second one, though. I feel like the sprawl isn't quite as memorable as the Ishimura was.
Well, I think that there's two things. A lot of that newness, that freshness.
The novelty's gone, for sure.
It's not scary.
You know, the popping out of the vents thing.
That was good, though, in the first game.
In the first game,
in this game, it's just like, okay, I have more targets to kill, and they're coming, and I know I'm going to walk into this room, and they're all going to come out.
That's what it feels like. You can almost anticipate every third or fourth room in the game. Necromorphs are going to reveal themselves. Again, you're right. The novelty is definitely gone. We've done the haunted house in space thing once before. How do we make this experience fresh again? And I don't think Visceral really has an answer for that.
And the other thing that you got to know about Dead Space as well is how derivative it is. You can see so many different science fiction homages.
Aliens already.
Yes. I mean, you've got a little Blade Runner in there. You've got a little Mass Effect, I think, this time. It doesn't feel like it's its own entity so much. I think they're working very hard.
I was hoping for that. In the same way that Uncharted really became its own thing and sort of left behind some of the tropes of action movies. The problem with Dead Space 2, the whole single-player experience feels like a pointless digression.
I don't think that at all.
Well, I do.
I was totally taken into the experience, and I think gameplay-wise, you will like it a lot. We're going to talk more about the multiplayer when we actually can get online and play with other people. We'll do a wrap-up score when we look at the multiplayer. What are you going to give Dead Space 2? What you played?
7.5 for me.
7.5? I am going to give it an 8.5.
All right. See, we weren't that far off.
Not far off.
Why do we fight?